From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the New Orleans Saints. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
They'll toss it to Hunt. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches.
This drive started with 1st and goal. Now that it's 4th and goal, anything less than a touchdown would feel like a letdown to me.
And his kick is good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Saints coming out now to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Geis with a carry on second down. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that would help him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On play action, they'll throw. Throw left side complete. It's James. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
From the gun, Bridgewater. Being chased out left. Now he's going to go deep down the... He's got a man complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A first carry for Samaje Perine, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Well, he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a 1st down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Touchdown, Detroit. As his guys are in for 6, and the Lions are in for 6.
And as we've talked to special teams coaches, that theme of being when they moved the kickoff back to the 35, it was going to cut down on the number of opportunities. But if you've got a special guy, you give him the green light no matter where he fields in the end zone. And in this case, it paid off handsomely.
Well, he fielded it deep in the range of emotions. Maybe you're like, oh, no, don't. And then all of a sudden you see him break it. And you're like, yeah, way to go.
Yeah, sometimes you have to remind your head coach that he approved the green light for bringing it out from deep in the end zone. And that's exactly why he did.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. That reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On play action, it's Bridgewater. To the right side and complete to Hurst. He got 29 yards that time.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. They'll hand it down to Geis. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
So out now come the Lions. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here on first down. Buying time to his left. Now he'll let it go deep left side. And that's caught inside the 35. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, there's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On the run, this is Hunt. And now running right through it. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 10 more there and another first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
We got four down.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. A first down carry here for Johnson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Now Hunt. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Gun! Motion. Watch him now, Barney. Hunt!
They'll run it here with Hunt. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D-linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So can this New Orleans defense stand tall again? 3rd and goal.
4 down. Set. 3, 57's the mic. Watch 57.
They'll try to run with Hunt, and he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. A great play there as the first half is winding down, and the Lions add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now he'll let it go deep, right? And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. That's fielded in the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They run again with Hunt. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run, deep left side. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was third and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is fielded at the 7. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now he's going to go deep down the left side, and he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off near the 44. Oh, now he bowls him over. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
How about another? And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. They get it to him running left. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Well, definitely be a disappointment to come out of this starting position with just 3 points. They need to try to dial something up now, 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Hunt. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This is a 26-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Dancing to his left. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Second and 10 from the 33-yard line.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Forced out to his left. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Now it's Hunt, and he's going to get this one down to the 30. Tackle there going to Marshawn Lattimore.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Lucky 56.
They'll run again with Hunt, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now back to throw. Airing one out for Crowder. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it, and this one winds up no good.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Play action now. Bridgewater. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Geis, they'll try to run it. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
They'll go to P-Rod, try to pound it in. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal.
Another stop on 3rd down, and this defense still hasn't allowed a touchdown to this point.
A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th. They come out here in the eye. Try to wedge his way in there. No signal. I don't think he got there. He didn't. They try the sneak, but not enough push. He doesn't get in. And the Lion defense able to come up there with a goal line stand. They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Here we go now. 3.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. And the most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild, and at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. 4th quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it, but you know every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction, and that's going to cost his team.
Yeah, it cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. They go play action. Bridgewater. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Off the play fake, Bridgewater. That is caught inside the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 23 yards on the play. On the ground, Geis. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass.
And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Saint touchdown. Darius Geis, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints get a bit closer.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They've been pretty anemic on this side of the football in the second half, just 3 points, and you just saw the touchdown go the other way, so it's a 2-score game. We're not done here yet.
I think everyone's on the edge of their seats now because they're anticipating what's coming, and I sense that everyone in the stadium knows they need to keep it on the ground. So if you're going to do that, hope the quarterback is stretched a little bit. Some bootlegs, right? Some fakes inside, getting out to the perimeter. Those might be open for him.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. A beautiful spin and room to run. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 38 yards on the scamper there.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Here's Hunt. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
Hurry up, here we go.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's James. And the Saints signal for another timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half.
Fire down, fire down.
Play fake. Bridgewater. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That goes for a gain of 31. And they'll try and preserve that lone timeout as he comes up and clocks it here on the spike. Bridgewater now on second down. Catch here, left side, Thomas. 23 yards on the play. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Throwing, Bridgewater. And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. Jalen Reeves-Maybin in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. A second down throw for Bridgewater. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney. We got four down.
They'll begin the drive with punt. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
All right, now, look at 56.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Lions, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
thicker the pie, thicker the ply, thicker the bag. Mean I'm a buy, now lease in the Beamer. I'm Brian O'Connor, driving it fast. They were just hating cause they in the way. We ever made it, the mad. Man in them baggins, I'm all in my bag. Well, I ain't holding around. Just a little Merlin, out the cutie. Now I don't give a. Tell me why I would on the rose bar couch in my bag. Bands in my denim. In my denim, she was trying to for it out. She don't give a. She was in her bag. Fendi and some lane. Asked for a burger. Watch in the front seat of the fouled out J. We living so wild like Nas. When she was on vacation. We was on roll like tires. What we gon' that? I'm in my bag like I'm in my bag, Mike. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing the check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing the check. I'm really